All right. Well, welcome back. This is Jeff Palomo, and you are in the signing video series in regards to going over your documents. On this video, we are going to talk about the two trust affidavits. So I'm actually going to bang the two affidavits out together because they have the exact same purpose and they're very easy to kind of just discuss at one time because they're the same thing. So the history behind the affidavit is that it was the intent of lawyers to be able to give an affidavit to people so that um, they could bring that into the bank. They could bring that into the financial institution, basically a one-page overview that just provides what it is that the trust is, basically the social security number for the trust or the EIN for the trust, who are the grantors, who are the trustees, and just all the pertinent information. And it just didn't work the way that it was intended because most institutions want to see the originals anyway. They want to be able to see the originals for themselves. There's a lot of fraud that has happened, and so they kind of just don't trust people, which I totally understand. The reason that I still do them, every now and then you get places that will accept it. So that is certainly a big reason why we continue to do it. And also another reason is because we find that 95% of the questions that are being asked about trusts are very basic. Is it revocable? Is it irrevocable? Whose social security number is it in? What's the address of the people who are responsible? Who's in control? Just social security number, EIN. It's just very basic stuff. So we find that it's much easier to answer it using the affidavit than it is to have going through a 85 whatever page document. So we continue to use the affidavits, but more importantly, it's more of an internal document. I'm going to start first with the revocable trust. So the revocable trust is going to be up on your screen here in a second. And what the revocable trust does, the affidavit that is it just says, okay, Mark Smith is creating it and it is called the Smith Revocable Trust. The certificate date is the day that you sign it. And then of course, the grantors are Mark and Sarah, husband and wife, the social security number of the grantor. Now for married couples or for individuals that are doing both the revocable and the asset protection trust, which is everybody in this process, we are going to pick one SOCH for the revocable, one SOCH for the irrevocable. In regards to single individuals, widow or widowed, we're just going to, obviously it's your SOCH for both because you're the only person creating both, and that is completely fine. They have different names, but we are separating the EINs as far as the social security numbers go for a husband and wife, just to make it easier. Names and addresses of the co-trustees, Mark and Sarah, of course, and no one else can make decisions or do things on behalf of the trust other than those two. The following parties have the ability to revoke it. Again, Mark and Sarah, of course, and they're the ones with authority, and their signatures are the ones that should be relied upon. The proper titling is Mark Smith and Sarah Smith, trustees of the Smith Revocable Trust, dated. To our knowledge, there's no other claims or anything out there against the trust, and it can be amended, modified, changed in any way, revoked in any way. And essentially, we have the power on behalf of the trust, Mark and Sarah. So that one there is fairly straightforward, as is the second one, which is going to be the Smith Family Trust. So remember, I know in the will video, I also said this, I'll repeat it again. Your family trust is not going to say the word irrevocable. We did it just because we wanted to allow you to see which trust we were talking about for the Smith family, but yours will not have the word irrevocable in it. Institutions freak when they see the word irrevocable because they don't understand it. So rather than give them a chance to get upset or worried, nervous, whatever, we just eliminate that word. In our office, the word family trust means irrevocable. If we want revocable, we say the Smith Revocable Trust, which yours did. And also, if somebody wants a special name, we can certainly do that, but we do put revocable in it, and we still say family trust, even if they have their own sort of fancy name. The trust date certificate is the date of signing. The grantors are Mark and Sarah, of course, the same. And they are the co-trustees, also Mark and Sarah. It is an irrevocable trust, but just as a reminder, irrevocable does not mean you can't change it. Irrevocable means that you can't give it directly back to, you're right, yourself or your spouse. So that doesn't have anything to do with amending using the power of appointment. Remember, in the 3 secrets and the blueprint, we talked about Larry, Moe, and Curly. We gave the money to Larry because we trusted Larry the most. And if he doesn't give it back, what do? We write him out. You're right. We still can change the document. So it does say it's irrevocable in the certificate. There are successors, and those are listed in the document, and it is a valid document. What is the titling? Mark and Sarah, trustees of the Smith Family Trust, dated, whatever the date is. And to my knowledge, there's no other claims or causes of action against the trust. Mark and Sarah will sign, and then, of course, we will notarize. That is pretty straightforward for both affidavits. Not a ton of significance in those, as I stated, but certainly worth doing, certainly a great place to give information and to notify you of what it is that you're doing. Hope you enjoyed the affidavit video, and certainly we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.